Adjustment layers behave like tinted sheets of glass that are overlaid on top of the image one at a time. So here we have an image that's all by itself on a single layer. Simply, these are the pixels that make up this image on a single layer. Now on top of that base layer, I can make tonal changes as well as color changes and a variety of other special effects without damaging the base image. Let me show you. Here we have the base image by itself on a single layer. If I click on this tool right here, not only does it create a new layer, but it's going to open up the properties palette. The properties palette is tied directly with the adjustments. And this area right here are the changes I can actually make. Now I'm going to talk about these individual tools in later videos. So for right now, I'm simply going to make a change and show that it is a change, and then just click something else. I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to do that. And I'll select this one, and I'll do this. Okay, what I've done is fairly irrelevant. What is of interest to you is that I've made 3 different changes onto 3 separate layers that I can turn on and off individually. This eye icon right here allows us to turn off the effect from happening to the layers below it. So I'm just going to untick all those so that the only thing showing is the base background layer. Now the first thing that we did was this levels change. And if I turn this on, we can see just that change. The next one up was Hue Saturation, and I can click this eye and I can make that appear again. And then once again we have the selective color that I can turn on, and it made that wild change. The benefit here is actually twofold. I can either turn on and off individual effects without affecting the other ones. Once again, just think of these as simple sheets. You know, you have your background, then I have levels, then I have the hue saturation, then I have selective color. They're all stacked up on each other. And if you were to take out one from the middle, the other ones are still there, but just that one has been taken out of the equation. Or if I put that one in, I can take that one out. Okay, that's simply all we're doing here. But this allows us to work non-destructively because our base image is still the same as it always was. Now the biggest benefit to these adjustment layers is that you can adjust them afterwards. So for example, we have this first layer that we created as levels. If we look at this properties palette, you can see that that change is still here. I can simply grab one of these other ones and make another change, and then go to this one, do a different change, and then come back here, and you can see that that change that we made the second time as well as the first time are still honored. Simply, we can go back and forth and make changes as much or as little as we want. And if you realize that you don't even want one of these anymore, just throw it away. Very simple and very easy. The only thing of it is there are many different adjustments to choose from, and each of those adjustments show up many different times inside of Photoshop. So it adds to confusion, but it also adds to usability as well. I am currently working under Window Adjustments, and that's giving me this individual palette right here. If I don't want to use that palette, I could also go under Layer, New Adjustment Layer. And here we have each of these icons within this pull-down menu. Additionally, we also have this exact same menu over here under the Layers palette. It's this icon right here. I can click on this, and I'll get the same menuing items that we have both here as well as up here. They were simply introduced at different times in Photoshop's evolution, and they never removed any of this extraneous data. They just simply added more locations for them. Now it's up to you to play with each and every one of these tools just to experiment with them and see how they behave for you. Now inside of my Photoshop Basic 1 course, I'll talk about many of these adjustment layers in great detail. Some of them are extraneous or not particularly useful, and those are the ones that I don't talk about. Once again, that's just focusing on the 20% of Photoshop that's going to give us 80% of the results to help make you a better photo retoucher.